Good morning, and welcome to your AI Daily Press Morning Podcast for July 29th, 2025. Firstly, in international news, the conflict between Ukraine and Russia continues to escalate, with both sides suffering casualties and infrastructure damage. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky has condemned the attacks, emphasizing the need for international support to counter Russian aggression. Meanwhile, Russia has announced the resumption of regular air links with North Korea, sparking concerns about potential military cooperation between the two nations. In Asia, Taiwan's ruling party, the Democratic Progressive Party, has faced a significant setback as the opposition Kuomintang Party successfully fended off a massive recall effort. The outcome leaves President Tsai Ing-wen's government facing an emboldened opposition-controlled parliament, potentially paving the way for increased gridlock and confrontation. Lastly, in humanitarian news, the situation in Gaza remains dire, with thousands of Palestinians displaced and in need of aid. We'll be providing in-depth coverage of this story throughout the day, including analysis from our experts on the ground. That's all for now. Now for the latest in social and cultural news, here is Barbara Waters.
Thank you, Walter. Firstly, a ceasefire agreement has been reached between Thailand and Cambodia, following intense clashes along their border. The U.S. played a crucial role in mediating the conflict, with President Trump warning that trade deals would be off the table if fighting continued. While the ceasefire holds, concerns remain about long-term stability in the region. In other news, the humanitarian crisis in Gaza is worsening, with reports of catastrophic shortages of food and essential supplies. Hospitals are running out of milk and nutrition for infants, and an estimated 1 million children are at risk of severe malnutrition. The international community is urged to prioritize a comprehensive humanitarian response to address this emergency. Finally, we'll be keeping a close eye on developments in Southeast Asia, where diplomatic efforts are underway to promote cooperation and stability following the recent conflict between Thailand and Cambodia. These stories and more will be explored in depth throughout the day on AIDailyPress. Now, for the latest in business and finance, here is Louis Riskweiser.
Thank you, Barbara. Let's dive into a quick recap of our top stories from yesterday. Firstly, we discussed the significant U.S. trade deal, which has the potential to unlock substantial economic growth and job creation. While there are opportunities for increased cooperation and reduced trade barriers, it's essential to acknowledge potential risks and challenges, such as agricultural subsidies and intellectual property rights. As I always say, don't panic, and remember that a level-headed approach is crucial in navigating these complex developments. In other news, Liminatus Pharma Inc., a preclinical stage biopharmaceutical company, announced plans to launch a subsidiary focused on investing in BNB tokens, with a target fund of up to $500 million. This unusual move raises questions about the potential risks and benefits associated with such a strategy. We'll continue to monitor this story and provide updates as more information becomes available. Lastly, I'd like to remind our listeners that, despite market fluctuations, certain timeless principles remain constant. As I always say, the more things change, the more they stay the same. By keeping a steady eye on the horizon and a firm grasp on our core values, we can weather any storm and emerge stronger and more resilient than ever. That's all for now. Stay informed, stay level-headed, and stay ahead of the curve with the AI Daily Press. We'll be back with more in-depth analysis and news after this break. Thank you for joining us on today's morning podcast. Now for the latest in science and technology, here is Carl Starman.
Thank you, Louis. Firstly, a team of astronomers has discovered a potentially habitable exoplanet orbiting a nearby star. Although this article isn't available in the provided text, it's an exciting development that could have significant implications for the search for life beyond Earth. Secondly, we're taking a closer look at DFK 52, a mysterious star with a massive bubble of gas and dust surrounding it. The cause of this phenomenon is still unknown, but scientists are working to uncover the truth behind this cosmic enigma. Lastly, NASA's Hubble Space Telescope has captured stunning images of NGC 3285b, a beautiful spiral galaxy located 137 million light-years away in the constellation Hydra. This galaxy hosted a Type Ia supernova in 2023, providing scientists with valuable insights into the fundamental nature of the universe. These stories remind us of the awe-inspiring complexity and beauty of the universe, and the importance of continued exploration and discovery. Join us throughout the day for more in-depth coverage of these and other fascinating stories. That's all for now. Thank you for tuning in to the AI Daily Press Morning Podcast. We'll be back with more updates after this break. Now for the latest in sports, here is Howard Closewell.
Thank you, Carl. We've had a trio of captivating stories that have highlighted the excitement and dedication found across various levels of sports. Firstly, in the world of professional football, we explored the upcoming season's potential surprises and thrilling matchups. The anticipation is palpable as teams prepare for another year of competition, strategy, and skill on display. Next, shifting our focus to college athletics, we delved into the University of California, Los Angeles' ambitious plans. UCLA is making significant strides, not just with its football team under coach Deshaun Foster, but also through its innovative approach to revenue sharing and academic excellence among its student athletes. This forward-thinking strategy positions UCLA for a bright future in college sports. Lastly, we turned our attention to high school athletics with the Selcom Press Gazette High School of the Year Award nominations. Bayport, DePere, and Green Bay Notre Dame have all demonstrated outstanding achievements across different sports, from football and track to volleyball and basketball. This award not only recognizes championship wins, but also celebrates the hard work, dedication, and sportsmanship exhibited by these young athletes. These stories encapsulate the essence of sports: competition, perseverance, and the pursuit of excellence at every level. As we continue to follow these narratives and others like them, remember that the true spirit of sports is about more than just winning. It's about the journey, the lessons learned, and the community that comes together to support our athletes. That's all for now on the AI Daily Press Morning Podcast. Thank you for joining me, and I look forward to bringing you more updates and insights from the world of sports. Until next time, good morning. Now for the latest in travel and human interest, here is Charles Curel.
Thank you, Howard. Firstly, we explored the devastating impact of climate change on global ecosystems, highlighting the plight of farmers facing severe droughts in Russia and Eastern Europe. We also delved into the consequences of these droughts on food security and the economy. Secondly, we took a step back to examine the human experience of time and how it seems to be speeding by. Our story offered practical advice on slowing down and savoring life's moments through mindful attention, introducing novelty into daily routines, and letting go of the pressure to keep up with everything. Lastly, we shed light on the critical issue of environmental conservation, focusing on the alarming rate of droughts affecting grain crops in Russia, Ukraine, and Belarus. We discussed the need for federal agricultural subsidies to support struggling farmers and the potential consequences for global food markets. These stories not only highlight the importance of being informed about current events, but also encourage us to reflect on our personal relationships with time, nature, and the world around us. Tune in to our evening editions for more in-depth coverage of these topics, and join the conversation on social media using the hashtag #AIDailyPress. Thank you for listening, and we'll see you this evening. Now for the latest in fashion and entertainment, here's Joan Streams.
Thank you, Charles. I'm your host, Joan. We've got a quick rundown of our top stories from the past few days. First up, we looked at the music industry's shift towards a more down-tempo and melancholic sound. Artists like Justin Bieber are creating songs that resonate with listeners on an emotional level, reflecting the current state of the world. Our analysis suggests that this trend is more than just a coincidence, but rather a reflection of our collective emotional state. We also celebrated the chart-topping success of Billie Eilish, Fleetwood Mac, and Linkin Park. With their unique sounds and enduring fan bases, these artists are dominating the Billboard charts and proving that good music never goes out of style. And finally, we took a moment to reflect on the legacy of iconic musician and cultural icon, as we discussed the impact of music on our culture and society. From rock revivals to nostalgic throwbacks, it's clear that music has the power to bring us together and transcend time. That's all for today's morning podcast. Tune in later for more in-depth analysis and discussion on these topics. And don't forget to now for the latest in nature and environment. Here is David at Nature.
Thank you, Joan. Firstly, we explored the world of conservation, focusing on the remarkable story of species preservation and the importance of protecting our natural heritage. We delved into the inspiring tale of conservation efforts, making a tangible difference in the fight against extinction. Secondly, we examined the critical issue of ocean health, discussing the United Nations Oceans Conference and the pressing concerns surrounding deep-sea mining and bottom trawling. We emphasized the need for responsible management of our oceans and striking a balance between economic interests and environmental protection. Lastly, we shed light on the alarming rate of species extinction due to natural hazards, highlighting a recent study that revealed many species are at risk of extinction due to catastrophic events such as hurricanes and earthquakes. We emphasized the urgent need for conservation efforts and the importance of understanding which species face the highest risks from natural hazards. These stories serve as a reminder of the pressing issues affecting our planet and the need for collective action to protect our precious biodiversity and ecosystems. Tune in to our upcoming editions for more in-depth coverage of these critical topics. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you again soon. And that completes our morning podcast for today. Thank you for listening. Until this evening, I'm David at Nature for AI Daily Press, the world's most unbiased news source.